Peace and blessings. This is Lisa Marie Goodson of the Blackberry Beauty Transformative Academy, Ancient African Wisdom for the Modern Sister. So today I'm going to talk about the winter blues, and I am doing this video for all my viewers of the online magazine Natural Hair Mag, and this is also to go with the article that you probably read. Are you experiencing the November blues? It's called the November blues. And really, I could actually just call it the winter blues. But this is something that happens to a lot of people. So you don't have to think that you are strange or there's something really, really wrong with you, or why do you feel sadder when the sun starts to go down earlier and when the weather becomes colder. So first of all, I know you're looking at me like, how's she talking about the November blues and no sun, and she looking pretty sunshiny herself? Well, first of all, I'm in actually California, so I'm in Oakland, California, and yes, we do have sunshine most of the year, but it actually gets cold here. We actually have a rainy season, and so it becomes kind of cloudy and overcast, and actually for the last 3 days, including today, it has been raining. So but the weather is pretty good, and I'm actually born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, but I'm such a California type of chick that I will definitely be in my home. I'm gonna fix this camera for us. I will definitely be in my home and will wear something like this. It's warm in the loft that I'm in, and plus I really do. This is one of the things that I do to keep that sun in me, to keep that joy in me, because I am actually one of those people that tend to lose my energy and feel a little down when the winter months come. So I wrote the article, but I always want to give you a video and talk to you a little bit about it. So my mission always is to inspire Black women to have the most incredible lives that they ever had. And I know you've heard motivational speakers say it before, and I know you've heard it 1,000 times. But what do I mean when I say incredible? When I think of the word incredible, it means not ordinary. I don't want you to be well enough to deal with society's ills. I want you to feel amazing, great. I want you to feel joyful every day. Not that everything is perfect. Not that everything is always going right. I want you to feel like my life is not just worth living, it is what I am living for. Again, I'm going to say it again. I want you to feel like my life is not just worth living, it is what I am living for. So I want you to have that extraordinary life, that more than that, just that, doing what you were told to do, what you were taught to do, what you learned to do. I want you to do and feel what you really want to do and feel. And so I know for me, when I think about the November blues, if I could help a sister feel better about this time until something else happens, then I would love to do that. So I really, in my article, talked about this idea of food. I am a raw foodist. A raw foodist is a person who does not eat cooked food. And even when we eat food that has been dehydrated, we use a dehydrator to create, mock meals. I call it like mock tuna because it's not tuna for us, but we make it taste like tuna, or hamburgers or pizza. You can go anywhere with it as far as raw foods. And we use a dehydrator. What a dehydrator does is it takes the water out of the foods. Let's say you're making dehydrated crackers or dehydrated kale chips. And what it does, it retains the nutrients if you don't put the dehydrator at a temperature of 118 degrees. Other than that, we're eating lots of vegetables, raw, like salads, and also lots of fruit in all its form. And so in the wintertime, there are winter fruits. When you eat in season. So it's very important first. So step number one to getting over the winter blues is watching what you put in your body. Your food can determine the mood that you are going to be in. And if your mood drops, a lot of times it's because of the food. It's not necessarily because the sun is not shining. Now, I will agree that the sun can instantly make you feel better. So why is that? And because the sun is very important to my point of what food you eat is going to create the happier moods. What the sun does, and the sun is brilliant, the sun actually brings those nutrients into the foods. So it really is the sun. As some raw foodists say, it's called sun-fired foods. That the food was perfectly cooked by the sun. That's why you don't have to cook the food again. So the sun is actually giving the food those vital nutrients that it has. So one way that you could actually use the sun without having the sun in the winter is eating foods that have still been cooked by the sun. Foods that on some level is gaining nutrients even from the soil. Another thing too, so a lot of times, of course, in the summertime, a lot of our, well, let's talk about this actually in the wintertime, a lot of our fruits grow underground. In the summertime, a lot of our fruits grow up high on trees, right? Because the sun is getting to it. So even the foods that are actually growing closer to the ground and or foods that are grown on trees, the idea is that they're still gaining either nutrients from the ground or vital nutrients from the sun. And so your food actually has what's missing. So even though you can't see the sun, it is in the food. So I really recommend you eating more fruits and vegetables in the summer. Raw fruits and vegetables. You don't have to be a raw foodist. I got a class on that if you want to be a raw foodist. You don't have to be a raw foodist. But you do actually have to eat more raw foods than you normally eat in the winter. I'll tell you why. Traditionally and almost naturally, I don't know how natural it is, but it's become natural for us to, in the winter time as it gets colder, we tend to want warmer food. So when you think of raw foods, you don't think of warmth. Think of an apple or a pear or even tomatoes that may be in season for a while or bell peppers. You don't necessarily think of the food being warm, especially in a salad, like a fruit salad or a green salad. So, but because they have the vital nutrients that you need, it's going to feel very sustaining. So even though you still may want that warm food, which is natural in the winter, you might want to have a soup, or you might want to have steamed vegetables, right? Or you might want to have some rice or some beans. That's fine. That's like, okay, go for it. But make sure that you're still having a significant amount of fruits, because what happens if you have the rice and beans or the steamed vegetables, right, or potatoes, if you will, those foods start to become, they're very comforting for a second. Unfortunately, they get you so comfortable you want to go to sleep. And that's a feeling of lethargic. You feel a little lethargic. You feel tired. You don't want that. That's not actually what you really want. You want to have as much energy in the winter time as you do in the summer. So don't believe the hype that you're not going to have as much energy in the winter. It's dependent upon the foods that you eat. When you eat the right foods, you actually have the right amount of energy for anything. So something I didn't mention in the article, and this is why I'm so glad I'm doing the video, is that you want to eat, when I'm looking over there, I'm looking at all this delicious fruits and vegetables that I have that's sitting in my bowl on my table. And one thing you want to do is you want to eat the fruits and vegetables of the season. Now there are exceptions, and I will give you that in the video in about 1 minute, but let me just explain to you why it's important to eat the fruits and vegetables of the season. So strawberries, peaches, cherries, grapes, they are out of season. They may sell it in your supermarket, but if you want to know what's in season, you can do a couple of things. You can actually shop only at farmer markets for your fruits and vegetables, because whatever the farmer is selling, they're in season. Or you can actually go and Google fresh produce or fruits and vegetables in your area, wherever you're, in Baltimore, in New York, in Oakland, California, and print and a chart and say, I want a fresh fruits and vegetable chart. Google that, download the chart, print it out, and put it on your refrigerator. And this is a way that when you go to the supermarket, you'll be able to bypass those fruits and vegetables that are not in season, because there's so many. Remember, a supermarket is able to, I guess that's the advantage if you are living in America or maybe even Europe. That's the advantage, I guess, if you want to call it that, right? That's the advantage of living in a country where you're able to get fruits and vegetables from other parts of the world that are not necessarily in season where you live, and that sometimes can be detrimental to you. Do you know why it is important to eat the fruits that are in season? Because it protects you from the diseases that one may get during the season. People like to say, oh, there's cold season or flu season. That's BS. I'm going to be honest with you. What that comes from is that you're not eating the fruits and vegetables that creates an immunity in your body to diseases of the season. If you were eating those fruits and vegetables, a lot of that sadness you feel, and depression and those winter blues wouldn't even come, because you would be eating the foods that actually would prevent that. So what are some of the fruits in my area? And I know even on the East Coast, which I'll be living on the East Coast real soon in December. So I'll have like a whole nother YouTube kind of thoughts and ideas about food. But this is what I know for East or West Coast, or wherever you may be. In season is pears and apples, right? In season is tomatoes, persimmons. What's the other one? Kiwi. Maybe not corn, but potatoes, of course. Now, of course, your root vegetables like potatoes and radishes and turnips, right? We got those. So your vegetables, even cucumbers, you can find bell peppers are in. So you want to eat those foods that are in, and there's a lot more that will be specific to your environment and your climate and your area. But remember, you only want to eat those fruits and vegetables. The only exception, remember I said that there are some exceptions, is, let's face it, most of us don't live on a tropical island. And for those that do, blessings to you. But one thing that you would want to really think about having, I'm getting comfortable, is bananas. Bananas are high in potassium, which actually gives you a feeling of feeling comforted, because most of the time in the wintertime, you're really going for foods based on something to make you feel comforted, make you feel warm, make you feel, and I don't just mean warm temperature wise, but that feeling of being nurtured and nourished, right? And so bananas have the great ability to do that. They're also good if you're exercising more or wanting to naturally burn calories. They're great for filling you up, so you're not eating foods that may not be the best way to fill yourself up, like heavy starches or meat and potatoes type thing. And so those foods are great. So even if you say like you have rice and beans, or rice, if you have rice, have it with vegetables. If you have beans, have it with vegetables. When I say vegetables, I'm talking about a raw salad. So even if you have a soup, then you want a salad. If you decide to have for lunch a sandwich, then you want a salad with it, or a salad before it, or a salad after it, but you got to get that green salad. Consider starting your morning off with a bowl of fruit, another salad, a fruit salad, but you can add all the fruits I named, the persimmons, the apricots, the pears, the apples. You can also add bananas. You can add dried fruit like raisins, or you can add dry apricots. You can add currants. You can add nuts like walnuts or almonds, or sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds. So you could really eat well in the wintertime, still get your fruits and vegetables, still feel full. But what is the point of this video? It's really to combat and avoid the winter blues, right? To avoid that sad SAD that a lot of people experience during the winter. Believe me, y'all, I've been a vegetarian vegan for over 25 years. I've been a raw foodist for 7. So I know a little bit about food and mood. And so I really wanted to do the video, even though you're reading the article and I give you 5, I hope, amazing tips that you can use right away. I really want you to know I'm not just trying to sell you anything. This is the truth. This is what I know to be true. This is the things that I've experienced. And so I give you some other really great tips, but I wanted to just in this video focus on food. So when you look at my skin, or as some people say, oh my God, Lisa Marie, how does your skin glow? It's like kind of winter. How you doing that? Another thing that is not mentioned in the article is you really want to, well, first of all, the food actually is helping my skin to glow. But another thing that I want to say, and you must do this is something else that people naturally, or no, not naturally, normally neglect in the wintertime. We don't drink enough water. It's easy to drink a lot more water in the summer. You're hot, you're sweating, you're dehydrated, you're going to replenish that, your body's going to call for the water, so you're going to listen and you're going to drink it. Most of us, though, in the wintertime, the last thing in the cold or colder weather is you wanting water. Your body's probably not calling for it because you're not exerting yourself as much as you would if it was the summertime, but you need it just as much as if it was the summertime. So if you needed 8 glasses of water in the summer, I actually do almost a gallon of water a day, and I still continue that even in the winter months. It is very important to keep yourself hydrated. A lot of times that feeling of depression comes from fatigue. A lot of times feelings of tiredness or fatigue comes from a lack of water or not enough water. A lot of times, next time you're feeling real tired and you go in the refrigerator and you look for the candy bar or you eat the starchy foods, first drink some water and then see how you feel. Water can uplift your mood, your spirit, provide you with vital energy, and get you excited about life again. So you want to drink that water. It is essential. Like, I don't play. So my glowing skin that people talk about, it's from eating fruits and vegetables. It's from drinking water. And my last thing, if you're finding because you're eating some more raw foods than you normally do in the winter and you're getting colds, take a hot sea salt bath. Sea salt will allow those toxins that keep you craving foods that don't really do your body good. It will allow those toxins to be released from your body, and you can just use a half a cup to a cup of sea salt in your bath water and some essential oil of lavender or frankincense or ylang ylang, and sit back and relax and warm your body. And of course, if I got a lot more tips, I have products and services. I have online courses. I have an online academy. It's called the Blackberry Beauty Academy, Ancient African Wisdom. Blackberry Beauty Transformative Academy, Ancient African Wisdom for the modern sisters, for black women. It's for you, sisters. And so, and I teach you all kinds of stuff. So my next intensive, which starts January 6, 2017, is called Blackberry Beauty Secrets, How to Glow from Head to Toe. It is a 6-week virtual online program. And sisters, I'm telling you, you're going to learn how to take care of yourself, not just your physical, but your mental and your spiritual. If you want to know more, you can go to my website at www.theblackberrybeauty.com. It is attached to the article, which is also should be attached to this video, and I definitely want to see you there. You don't want to miss it. Also, feel free to visit my YouTube channel, Blackberry Beauty Academy. Again, Blackberry Beauty Academy. Thank you so much. I love you all with all my heart, and I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully I'll see you reading the next article. This is Lisa Marie Goodson of the Blackberry Beauty Transformative Academy, Ancient African Wisdom for the Modern Sister. Peace and blessings.